Hello, friends! Penny and Smush and I are here to remind you that summer reading starts June 1st. You can come to the library or sign up on the Beanstack app June 1st. All of June and all of July will be reading among the stars. Come and join us as we zoom into outer space for all of our reading fun. See you soon! Smoosh and their friends will be hanging out at the library with me all summer long, so come and see us. In the meantime, let's read a couple of space stories today. The first story I have for you is called Dalmartian, a Mars rover story by Lucy Ruth Cummings. Dalmartian. The visitors came to Stephen's yard one otherwise ordinary summer night. Who were the visitors? Quietly and carefully, they went about their work, collecting, bagging, and tagging specimens. Then, very suddenly, they had company. The visitors raced to reboard their ship. Who's their company? Can you see? Someone in the window. One of the visitors wasn't quite quick enough, so one was left behind. Oh dear. Stephen invited the guest into his home. The guest graciously accepted. After giving him the tour, Stephen showed his guest his room. At first, Stephen and his guest disagreed about the sleeping arrangements. Do you see? But eventually, they came to a comfortable compromise. That looks cozy, doesn't it? The following morning, Stephen served his guests a delicious breakfast. Does it look like the guest thinks that that's delicious? Maybe not. Stephen's guest wasn't hungry, but he did make a polite effort to taste what he was offered. Then eventually, they reached another compromise. Looks like he's getting some of Stephen's bacon. It went over well. After breakfast, Stephen suggested a walk and some fresh air. They finally did get to walking and fresh airing. But first, to get walking and fresh airing, they had to get on the same page. I don't think his visitor wanted to be on a leash. What do you think? As they walked, Stephen told his guest about the town's founders and about the local industry. He pointed out historic homes, told his guest about the winter carnival, and he also spoke proudly of the time at the winter carnival. He had puked not once, but twice after riding the tilt-a-whirl. At that point, they reached the park. Stephen was sure his guest would enjoy tossing the ball around. But Stephen was very wrong. And to make matters worse, the other noses at the park were very nosy. Do you think the guests liked all the other dogs sniffing him? I don't think so. To make matters worse, they made their business everyone's business. What do you think that dog is about to do? I hope we don't see it. It would be stinky. Ew. On their way home, Stephen pointed out the local flora and fauna and the various restaurants that had opened and closed over the years in a particular location cursed. And he spoke of his fondness for mustard on hamburgers and how he loathed ketchup. They had their supper together. That night, Stephen went to bed, but his guest stayed up and stared hopefully at the night sky, expecting his crewmates to return. When the sun rose, his heart sank. But the following morning, they had breakfast, a walk, and another laugh. After supper, Stephen shared his favorite book in his favorite spot with his favorite guest. That night, Stephen's guest went straight to sleep. And that same night... What's out the window? Can you see? What's coming? They came back. So Stephen's guest quietly departed. Since their journey home would be a long one, they decided they should all get some rest. All but one did. Stephen's guest lay awake and thought about home. He thought about bacon, of course, but mostly he thought about Stephen, his host, his friend. What do you think he'll do? Stephen himself suddenly woke up, thinking about his guest, his friend, who he discovered was no longer there. Stephen's heart sank. at that very moment, far, far away, Stephen's friend felt where home was, and he headed in that direction. So when the sun rose the next morning, they were both right where they belonged. They would always be very close. But they did decide to always keep their business to themselves. The end. And that is the story of Dalmartian. Our next story is called Snail in Space. And this one is an out-of-this-world tale from Rachel Bright and Nadia Shireen. Snail in Space. Do you think there are snails in space? Let's read and find out. When snails are born, they're small and slow. They follow what the elders know. No rush or ruckus, noise nor fuss. Big ideas just aren't for us. Snails are snails, it's how things are. Snails like us don't stray too far. But Gail is not your average snail. She wants to blaze a different trail. She wants to break the old snail mold. Space needs you. Change the world. Be brave. Be bold. If all are zagging, she will zig. She sets her stalks on stuff that's big. She has an epic dream to chase. To be the first snailet. In space. Well, this was quite a plan to hatch. No other snail had left the patch. Her journey would be hard and long, but Gail was tough and Gail was strong. She ventured over humps and hills, through slow climbs, hard times, and some thrills. She soldiered on through hail and rain, through doubt and fear, then doubt again. On and up, right to the ledge, driven by her steadfast pledge, never stopping day to night, till Space Camp glittered into sight. Space Camp, it's out of this world. Oh, how her heart beat in her chest, for now she faced the Space Fit test. She stretched her muscles, flexed her wit. She got straight A's and never quit. She hit the books and hit the gym till she was almost out of vim. Yet on she wheezed the final climb. Would she reach the ship in time? She'd come so far, she'd risked so much, so close that she could almost touch. But Gale, exhausted, slipped and fell. Oh no. And toppled back into her shell. She lay quite still, and in her head she heard the whispered things they said. Dream too big, you're on your own. Give up, stay safe, stick with the known. But something deep inside her stirred. Her heart spoke stronger, greater words. She told herself through gritted jaw, you are not done. You do have more. Get up, Gale. Get up, get on. Before this lifetime chance has gone. It's time to rock. It's time to roll. You've got to reach your biggest goal. Zoom. And with that cry, she chased her fate. She made it up. She wasn't late. She earned her spots. And not too soon, that ship was launching for the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Where's the ship going, do you think? Moon! There's Gale. Do you see her? And that was how Gale made her name. Won hearts and mind and worldwide fame. See her on all the magazines? And better still, showed every snail that if you've tried, you cannot fail. Dream big, talk loud, be you, be free. Head in the clouds, make history. Write your own story. Hold your pen. No ifs or buts, just what and when. Scale that cliff and climb that hill. Believe you can. And then you will. What's the next adventure for Gale? I guess we'll have to wait and see. That is Snail in Space by Rachel Bright. and Nadia Shireen. That's all the stories I have for you today. Smush and I will see you soon. Come to the library June 1st, all of June and all of July, and join us for summer reading. We'll see you soon. Bye, friends.